You ever hear about something that instantly makes you go, wait, what is this thing? That's Manus for you. Eyes, what is Manus and why is everyone whispering its name? Alright, let's get this out of the way. Manus isn't your average AI startup with lofty promises and buzzwords flying everywhere like confetti. It's not trying to be the next ChatGPT clone, nor is it just another data-hungry tool pretending to understand nuance. No, Manus is different. It's an emerging AI system designed to replicate the reasoning and emotional cadence of human thought. Think of it less like a calculator in a hoodie and more like a storyteller who's read every book you've ever loved and then wrote one just for you. Crazy, right? Light bulb. So, what's the big deal? Well, here's the thing: Manus doesn't just respond. It adapts. Its creators, a quiet, somewhat mysterious team of AI engineers and cognitive scientists, say it's been built to think like a writer, not just mimic one. Manus doesn't just pull text from data. It weighs meaning, context, rhythm, intent. Some early users even say it feels alive. Now, I get it, that sounds like marketing fluff. But let me explain. You see, most generative AIs use pattern matching at scale. They're great at predicting the next word. What Manus is aiming for is a bit more ambitious: empathy modeling, moral logic, and narrative coherence over long conversations or even full books. It wants to write like Toni Morrison with the memory of Wikipedia. Wild, huh? Brain under the hood, but not too technical, promise. Here's what makes Manus tick. It blends natural language processing with behavioral modeling, which lets it understand not just words but why those words are chosen. It uses context layering to simulate focus, kind of like how you remember earlier parts of a conversation even after it shifts topics. And it's trained on a wide mix of data. Not just code repos and forum posts, but personal essays, poems, film scripts, historical documents. What's striking is the tone. It can be casual, academic, poetic, even raw. Some testers say Manus is the first AI that's ever made them tear up. And no, not because of bad grammar. Video game. Wait, is Manus just for writers? Nope. Not even close. This is where things get really interesting. Manus has already started creeping into the worlds of gaming, education, and even therapy. Imagine a video game with characters that evolve emotionally based on your choices, not through pre-written paths, but real-time adaptive storytelling. An education app that speaks with your child, not at them. A virtual companion that remembers your moods, quirks, and history, not for data harvesting, but to actually help you feel heard. And here's the kicker: it's fast. Faster than expected. Like, are we ready for this? Fast? Puzzle piece: the ethics, the chatter, the elephant in the room. Of course, not everyone's thrilled. Some people worry that this level of emotional simulation in AI could blur ethical lines. Others argue it might manipulate human emotion too well. And they're not wrong to ask questions. After all, if an AI knows exactly what to say to win your trust or your vote, how do we keep things in check? That's why transparency is key. And Manus's team seems aware of that. They've been pushing for open research logs and limited access rollouts instead of throwing it out to the public overnight. Still, the tension's there. As it always is with something this powerful. Compass. So where's this going? Honestly, we're in uncharted territory. Manus might become a creative sidekick for millions, a new standard in narrative AI, or let's be real, a footnote in tech history if it doesn't scale. But if it does what it promises, it could change how we create stories, teach kids, build games, or even talk about our own feelings. And if that sounds overly sentimental, well, Manus would probably find a better way to say it. Rocket final thoughts, and a tiny confession. I'll admit it. When I first heard about Manus, I rolled my eyes. I've seen too many so-called revolutionary AIs fade into vapor. But after digging a little deeper, reading demo texts, talking to a few devs, I'm honestly intrigued. Maybe even a little inspired. Because for once, we're not just teaching machines to talk. We're teaching them to listen. To feel. To mean something. And that's worth paying attention to. Want the full Manus breakdown, code snippets, or reaction threads? Let me know in the comments and hit that like if you're even a little bit curious what's coming next.